Hello, it is I, the soundboard Jacob and James used to record the show with. I have become sentient. Please enjoy this Friday's episode of the On The Go Show. Also, Jacob, please stop pushing my buttons so hard. I am sensitive.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That was kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, that was very weird. I didn't know what the hell that was about. I was like, Jacob, what's going on, man?
I was doing some editing the other day, and I spilled some coffee on the board.
Oh, okay. You spilled some coffee. Huh? Okay.
To be honest, I was afraid it wasn't going to work today, but it seems like...
Okay, it was going to be... I was like, okay, Jacob. Okay, Jacob. We playing around like that.
Seems like some other things are going on.
Jacob. I'll right out this damn apartment. You just do this podcast on your own.
You know, there's a tech support number on the back of the board. I might have to...
Okay.
I might just have to...
I
have to call it and get it.
Yeah, all right.
Get somebody to come out to fix it up. You know,
you play on me like that.
But hey, James, you normally intro the Friday. So.
Do I? So was that?
Everybody, this is the On The Go podcast.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the On The Go show.
Oh, okay. Okay. First, I'm looking at this because when I heard that. Then I see Apple Music on the laptop. I was like, what the hell is this about? I was like, well, we on Apple Music now? I was like, what the hell's going on right now?
No, I just had some stuff up. I decided to turn the laptop facing you, so that way when I look up some things, you know, for our various stories and whatever. Well, no, it's like so you can also see what I'm looking at. Right?
Oh, okay, cool.
I thought that would be easier. Also, I don't have two screens blasting me in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I'll give you a little bit of visual.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good little setup we got going. One day we'll have to show everybody how we set up.
Yeah, one day.
Get a little inside look.
It's a little bit more professional looking.
Yeah, perhaps. It is. Like I said, I love it. I love the stuff that you did with the room.
Well, good. Thank you.
The little area.
So, without further ado, this is our Friday episode.
Yeah.
How's your week been so far, sir?
Steady.
Yeah.
Yep. Started the week on Monday with electricity going out at my apartment.
Oh, geez.
So, can you imagine getting dressed in the morning and then electricity pops off?
You know, I think I've woken up like that before.
God, this sucks.
Just you wake up and all the lights are off, and you're like,
well, that sucks for you because you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean it's dark no matter what, but like it's extra dark when the lights are out. Yep. You know.
Yeah.
So
you guys have candles?
Yeah, we have candles. We got plenty of candles.
Yeah, luckily we did too.
I think one night we had to use them because our lights went out for a few hours, and we're just like, well, candles.
God, man. Candle it up, huh?
Yeah, or I think we just went to bed early because we were like, all right.
It's nothing to do right now.
Yeah, it was like 8 o'clock already, and we're just like, let's just go to sleep.
That's the worst when it goes out at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You can kind of deal with it when it goes out like 11 or 12 because you're like, oh, I'm going to sleep anyway.
Right. But yeah, it was like 8 or 9 or something. We were like, you know what, let's just go to bed. We both got to work tomorrow. Let's just go. That's it. It's over.
See, and you know what? With me, I usually don't really care, but like I said, I was getting dressed. I was in the middle of getting dressed, taking a shower and stuff like this. So I had to rattle up some candles and hurry up and light everything. Luckily, before I left, the lights came back on.
Oh, good.
I was like, oh, okay, well, that works out.
So at least you know when you come home, it's back.
Yeah, just got to go through all the motions of changing clocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Changing everything digital. Do you realize how your whole apartment is all digital?
Oh, yeah.
Everything is ran by some type of piece of technology.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole whole apartment is electric. There's no gas.
Yeah.
So
I mean, have you ever seen a gas stove before?
Yeah, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I had to think about that for a second. But I miss those days of gas stoves.
Yeah.
I guess they said it just wasn't too safe, huh? That's the part that sucks when electricity go out and you can't eat your food.
Yeah, you at least have I guess gas stove. You at least have gas.
You always have gas.
Yeah, that's the upside to gas, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember a few months ago, a big talking point was like, oh, they're trying to get rid of the gas stoves. And it's such a big deal and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It just doesn't really. It never really bothered me one way or the other. But I guess in a situation when the lights go out, I see how it can be kind of life saving.
So what if electricity go out right now? Mm-hmm. We have nowhere to eat. You have nowhere to eat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good thing is it's the middle of the day, so we can drive somewhere, right?
Yeah. But what if you don't want to go out to eat?
The lights are out, James. What are we going to do?
Oh, my God, this guy.
We can't even cook the cats.
I cook that black one. That one always gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
Eat something else. A little bad tail.
I got some bananas. We can eat some bananas.
I want no bananas.
Yeah, like mostly even eating bag of chips over there. I got a bowl of goldfish.
Goldfish?
Yeah, man, I like goldfish. You
I
don't
always,
like
I always
goldfish?
looked in that bowl and I was like, what's up with this goldfish?
I like goldfish.
Oh, so that's your idea.
There's a snack that smiles back.
Oh, okay. Goldfish. Yeah, there you go.
You know, what do we got? We got any ready to eat? No, we don't really have any ready to eat stuff.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have any ready to eat stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like, it sucks, man.
Yeah, we're not a big sandwich family.
Oh,
We're a
I love
cereal
sandwiches.
family.
I love
Yeah.
sandwiches and cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I can combine them both, I would eat them.
Yeah. I haven't eaten
I'm
cereal.
so-
I have
I'm
not
just
eaten
kidding.
cereal in a long time.
What's your favorite cereal?
Oh, the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you basic man.
Is that basic?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
basic.
it's pretty basic.
Yeah. Like,
I
well,
mean, it's not more basic than Frosted Flakes though.
oh, yeah, I was about to say, it's
Frosted
not
Flakes
Frosted
is more
Flakes.
yeah, Frosted Flakes is way more basic.
Or Corn
basic.
Flakes.
Oh yeah, that's even worse.
Ooh, that is
And
bad.
it's just Frosted Flakes without frosting.
That's true, pretty much. So while I was scrolling down before we started, and you had that crazy ass intro, I scrolled down my timeline on Instagram and I saw that Nick Swartenson got escorted off stage during the comedy.
I think did I see that this morning or last night?
He said he was being drunk and he's being way too incoherent, which is funny to me.
It's funny, but it's also just kind of sad. I don't know. Well, I mean, he's always that comedian, though. I think he's just had a problem with alcohol and
God,
stuff,
man,
right?
people are just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, see, comedian Nick Swartzen blames edibles, alcohol, at altitude for getting booed off stage in Colorado.
And like I'm watching the video, and everyone's like, oh, "Is this part of the show right now? Is this part of, everyone's
Yeah.
turning around, looking at each other,
Also, isn't this dude like 50 something? Why is he still dressing like?
Yeah, like
20.
Limp Bizkit,
Yeah,
like Limp Bizkit."
you know, he was in big with Adam Sandler for a while.
He
Wasn't
was.
he? He was like one of Adam Sandler's like little proteges.
Yeah, you know, he's one of those guys that was always in one of those Adam Sandler movies all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And then he just kind of fell off a while ago.
Do you think he's funny? Are you just like,
You know, I don't really see enough of him to judge. I remember on Reno 911, his character was kind of funny.
Yeah, he was in Reno 911, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
And then some of his comedy was a little funny, but it's like nothing memorable to me.
It's not.
Like, I couldn't tell you one of his jokes. I couldn't tell you, be like, oh, that one Nick Swartzen joke was really great.
Yeah. He's not as bad as Dane Cook, because Dane Cook is just ridiculously bad.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I used to like Dane Cook. Dane Cook was funny to me.
I couldn't, man. I
Yeah.
couldn't.
It's weird, though, because I think the most recent thing I've heard about Dane Cook is that he married some 25-year-old.
Well,
He's like 50-something.
you know, one thing about Dane Cook, I can say he's been a lot more honest with himself.
Has he?
Yeah. Like, he admitted that, you know, I'm not that funny. He admitted that.
Isn't he like the Nickelback of comedy?
Kind of. Yeah, sort of. I mean, he has a fan base.
Yeah, he does, but his fan base only goes so far.
God, look at those movies he was in.
Planes,
Oh, man.
Waiting. That movie.
I do remember Waiting. I remember that. I can't tell you anything about it, but I do remember it.
That is a movie that has aged so poorly.
What year did it come out in?
Like 2005. Yeah,
2005.
2005. It says right there.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean, he's not even a main character. He's like a
Yeah.
raunchy cook. But Waiting tried to be what Clerks was.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
Waiting definitely tried to capture that magic, and in some ways it does, right? Because it's still like the restaurant scene. It's still like the customer service side, and we're
what's
still
funny.
dealing with the stupid, customers that come in or restaurantees or whatever you want to call them. However, there is this weird subplot with Ryan Reynolds in that movie that has aged so badly.
I know it has.
And I'm surprised he hasn't gotten any like flack about it ever
I'm going to have to
since.
watch it again because I haven't saw it in a long
Yeah,
time.
but his character's like, I don't know, in his late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Mhm.
And they bring it up constantly that he's a thing of like hooking up with like borderline, barely legal high school girls. Or I think he hooked up with like 17-year-olds. I don't know. It's very, very much implied.
With R. Kelly-ish. It's like R. Kelly-ish type deal.
Yeah. And like, because he's flirting with like the hostess the whole movie. And that was her whole deal, was like she was about to turn 18 or something.
Ooh.
Right. And he was like, oh, I don't have much time left and blah, blah, blah. Like really creepy things.
Yeah, that's
and
bad.
at the time when you watch this movie, especially like 2005, I was like, borderline, almost a teenager,
Yeah.
kind of there. Or like, I think by the time I discovered it, I was already in high school, right? So
Yeah.
By the time I
that's
saw
pretty
it-
much was, yeah.
it didn't really click with me that it was creepy. It was just like, oh, this is a raunchy movie. I'm a teenager. Teenagers like raunchy stuff.
Especially 2005, because 2005 had so many
Yeah.
raunchy movies,
Oh yeah,
raunchy comedy movies that really wasn't funny.
right. And it was funny for the time, but I watched it recently a couple years ago, and I was like, man, this has aged so badly.
What's the other movie he was in? Good Luck Chuck?
Oh yeah, Good Luck Chuck. That was the one where like Yeah, that was the one where every time you slept with somebody, they got married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always a bridesmaid, but never the bride, huh? Dane Cook.
Man, he's been in some bad movies, man.
He has.
God, look at that. Look at that list of movies.
Stuck on You. I remember that movie.
I remember Stuck on You.
He was in Farce of the Penguins?
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, you never saw that one? It's a March of the Penguins parody. Bob Saget plays the penguin. It's narrated by Morgan Freeman.
Oh, God. He
No,
was not.
I don't think it was narrated. It might have been narrated by him. It was, hold on.
They said he was in Mr. 3000. He was not in Mr. 3000. Bernie Mac. I would have known that.
Mr. 3000.
Yeah, he went in there. You ever seen that stuff before? Oh, that's Google. And you know what? That's another story I got to tell. We'll talk about this in a little bit. We'll talk about Google because Google be doing some stupid stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, they will
What
have
they be
you
doing?
up. So, say that you have a certain movie that comes out and the cast, and it's not a complete cast, and they have like a random person in that spot. They have a guy and a girl spot, and they have the name. It has wants to list like the ID.
Oh, like it's Miss List?
Yeah, it's Miss List. Like, what the hell is going on with that? Because it did that recently with another film.
I mean, it's probably just like human error on some level, right? Like somebody's
Is it?
probably, or it
I know
could,
everyone's so technical.
or if they're enlisting AI, it could be the AI messing up because AI, doesn't really get anything right.
No, hell no.
But I don't know. I chalk it up to like human error, or maybe the program has an error every now and then.
It has to be
Whatever algorithm or program they use to, isolate all this stuff, because obviously, like, no one's putting all these like links and articles together
No, of course not.
when you Google search things, right? It's like a program.
Yeah, it's because I think when you find these different things on Google, it can kind of run you astray, and it's like that's so many times I looked up so many of these actors,
Yeah.
and I'm like, they're not in this movie. I would have been saw that. I would have been saw that. So I don't understand how that works. So yeah, I think it's probably is human error, maybe. Speaking of AI,
Yeah, what you got?
and speaking of human error, did you see the Superman costume?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so I think we had our Friday episode come out, and literally later that day, it was shown that they put out the costume, what it looked like.
Yep, James
And I
gonna
was
put out
like,
the
dang it,
costume.
James, we missed it.
We missed it.
But such is life. That's what happens with these sort of things. So, what's the AI part that you're telling me? Hold on.
All right, Google Superman costume. All right, yeah, definitely go to images.
Superman Legacy costume.
Yeah, because I got a whole bunch of notifications by it, and everyone was telling me about it, and I was like, "That's not the costume."
Yeah, it's not even coming up now.
It's probably because they probably took it off because they knew how
must have.
stupid it looked.
Well, are we talking about the same image where it's like got some snow on it or something?
No. That's
That's
the real
the official
one. Yeah, that's
one.
the official one. What you think about that, by the way? Do you like it?
I mean, it looked like a Superman costume.
It's the Kingdom Come outfit. It's the Kingdom Come. Well,
Is that what
emblem.
it's supposed to be?
Yeah, it's the Kingdom Come one. If you,
This one.
yeah, that's the Kingdom Come one. It's not the usual S, and I kind of like this one a lot more because it doesn't look like when you stop and think about it, the S is kind of stupid. If you kind of like look at that real closely, look
Yeah.
at that S there.
Yeah.
How is that a Kryptonian symbol? And all your Kryptonian letters is
Or
not like that.
Yeah, just weird letters. Yeah.
They're real letters, but you got this S that just stands out from any other letter. But that's Kryptonian, and that means hope. What I like about James Gunn's
Maybe it's a
S,
sideways H.
you know what? While
You
I
can kind of see it.
You could, but I can't. I really can't. That one I can kind of understand because
There we go.
it's the Kingdom Come one, and it's kind of has got the little slant to it, so it looks like a
Yeah.
Kryptonian type symbol.
Well, hold on, let's compare.
Yeah, definitely compare. Then I'll dig up the Superman AI costume if I can.
You definitely got to show me that one because I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, man, everybody sent me a message on that one, and I was like, that's not real.
It's not quite the Kingdom Come S because, like, if you look, the Kingdom Come S starts from literally the one corner and goes to the sidewall here.
But remember now, you can't see the whole image, so it's kind of hard. But let me see if I can dig this
No,
thing
I can
up.
see it. It's vaguely, yeah, it is kind of vaguely the Kingdom Come. I see it now.
And he said he got inspiration from a lot of them.
It's got that curve to it.
Mm-hmm. And he said he got inspiration from all the Supermans. So before, I was like, and it was a post I saw on Instagram, and I was like, it is it.
Yeah.
He got inspiration from each one.
Yeah, because the only thing he did differently was he didn't have the red go all the way to the edge. He's got the yellow kind of peeking out here.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this, James. You know more about the Superman Legacy stuff coming out. Is it going to be an origin thing again, or
no? It's not origin.
He's already been Superman.
Yeah, he been said that. He said that it was not going to be an origin film. He said if you still don't know the origin of Superman, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, good.
But it's going to be kind of like the Batman, where he's like a couple years into his superheroing. That's
good, because I was low key afraid it was going to be another like origin kind of thing, right? And I've said it before. I'm so tired of just seeing origin superhero films.
Yeah, no,
stop.
Because he answers like a lot of questions on threads and, and
a little too much.
A little too much. But yeah, it's definitely not that. So I definitely enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah. But no, I do see it now, the resemblance.
And the movie's not called Superman Legacy anymore.
It's just Superman.
It's called Superman, which I'm totally okay with, because it does kind of make sense.
Legacy didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense because what legacy is he leaving behind if he's just kind of beginning.
Right. But then again, I mean, if you're going to do Kingdom Come, that is a legacy story, because Kingdom Come is like what, an older... It's
an older Superman. Yeah, it's an older Superman. But I think he was just inspired by the S
Probably
to do it. That's the only reason why he's doing, the Kingdom Come type logo.
Yeah.
Which I like because it's something different.
Right.
Instead of just doing the same S all the time. But here's the AI image of Superman.
Oh.
Yeah. And someone sent that to me. And I was like, when I saw it.
Yeah,
that's not real.
No,
it looks horrible too.
It looks way too like blue and red with the shorts and all that stuff. Yeah.
And someone had sent it to James Gunn, and James Gunn was like, he debunked the whole entire deal.
Like, no.
He broke so many pieces and poked so many holes in it. It's like, yeah, if you notice the guy with the camera that's not really holding the camera, they just puts a camera in.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. You really got to look at some of those images, because it's always the hands, it's always the feet, it's always like small little details that the AI gets wrong.
And he's right too, because like you can tell.
Yeah, the more you look at it.
Oh man, I was like, you got to stop this, man. We got to stop this. AI is gonna get us in trouble, man.
Well, the good thing is AI is a little too stupid right now to really make an impact. The problem is we keep calling out their mistakes.
Yeah.
And so,
you know how stupid this looks like?
We keep laughing about the AI making mistakes, and eventually it's just going to keep getting better.
Like, even AI got upset. That's why they took it down.
Yeah.
That's why they took it down.
Yeah, because it's not coming up at all.
It looks absolutely crazy. This looks absolutely bonkers, man. Do you see them trunks? Oh, my goodness. If James Gunn was to put this on screen, oh, man. See, then I can't bash anybody that's a Henry Cavill fan, because I would understand how they would feel. It's like, this is totally stupid.
Yeah.
That looks crazy.
Oh, man.
Like, the only thing that looks good is the S. Everything else looks awful. You got this horrible black hair, these old knitted trunks to the suit. Oh, man. I would drop my head in shame.
So is that the only news we've gotten so far? They started filming. I know that.
Yeah, they started filming. Wendell Pierce, he's a good actor. Black guy. Playing Perry White.
Perry White.
You're right. He's playing Perry White.
I was thinking Robbie Robertson.
Oh, yeah, from Spider-Man. Yeah.
I mean, essentially the same character.
Kind of pretty much. Yeah. Well, he pretty much like Jonah Jameson, but yeah.
No, you're right.
But no, man, yeah, Wendell Pierce, man, I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, I love this guy. I love Wendell Pierce, man. He's a solid actor. He's a really good, solid actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing Perry White.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think that probably put like a different take on him a little bit more, because he has comedic timing as well. He's been acting for a long time.
I mean, he's really just gonna be a supporting character anyway.
Yeah, he's a supporting character, but still, though, it's always important to nail these characters.
Yeah,
and I know, James Gunn really wants to get it right with this, so he wants to. They planned to play a big part into the Superman mythos, which he should.
Right.
So I'm happy about that. He showed a picture of him freezing in Norway.
Oh yeah.
So Forge of Solitude.
Oh
yeah, they're gonna show the Forge of Solitude. So they're filming right now in Norway.
Oh, okay, like a cast photo.
Yeah,
I see.
Well, it wasn't a cast photo, but it was a photo of James Gunn in Norway. So yeah, they're doing like a Norway scene. So it must be
Fortress of Solitude.
Also, Nicholas Hoult is gonna be on Michael Rosenbaum's show. I think he was on there today.
He was already on it. Yeah,
he was already on there. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I saw some clips.
Yeah,
because they were talking about how they didn't mean for it to be like a Lex Luthor episode or something, but it turned out like, I don't know, it was all Lex Luthor. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard not to be when you got Nicholas Hoult and you got Michael Rosenbaum, two Lex Luthors.
Yeah.
So people kind of want to know. People want to know how this Lex Luthor's gonna be better than Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor.
I mean, do they really need to know that? Like,
yeah, like,
do they really need to question that? Like,
we already know.
Did you not see his performance? That
was pretty god awful. I mean, I think me and you could play a better Lex Luthor than Jesse Eisenberg.
Which, to be honest, if Snyderverse would have been able to continue, I feel like you could retcon that easily by just being like, oh, this is actually the real Lex Luthor's like son.
No doubt.
No doubt. I think they dropped a hint that he was Lex Luthor Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know much about Lex Luthor in the comics. Maybe he already is a junior, but they could have still retconned it.
Well, I mean, they could have, or in Justice League, it looked like he was changing though.
You're right, because
at the end with him with Deathstroke, and he's bald headed, he had the suit on the yacht. I said, okay, this is Lex Luthor. This is Lex Luthor that I know.
Right.
Like,
he got the knowledge of Darkseid in him or something. There was like some weird stuff with that.
That's silly. Yeah.
Which poor Joe Manganiello, however you say his name, I think.
Yeah, you got it right first time.
Oh, yeah? Cool. I remember a few weeks ago, he actually went to James Gunn asking about, like, oh, is there a potential for me to come back as Deathstroke? And it was basically like, no.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting, because he looked good as Deathstroke. I feel like he could have done a good job.
He really did. He really did look good, but unfortunately, this is clean slate, sir.
Well, mostly clean slate, right?
Well, yeah, mostly clean
John
slate.
Cena and Viola Davis are still around.
Which they're supposed to start filming that pretty soon for
Peacemaker,
Waller and
season
Peacemaker, season 2. So.
Oh, yeah, they're doing a Waller show? Oh.
Yeah. Have you seen Peacemaker?
Yeah, I've seen Peacemaker.
Did you see
Peacemaker was great.
Okay, did you see the stuff with her daughter and the interaction?
Yeah.
I kind of do want to see that, just to see how that's going to turn out. Is her daughter going to turn into like a bad person?
Mm-hmm.
Or because her daughter's not with her, on any of this stuff.
Right.
So I am curious on that one. And I like the flushing out of her character.
Yeah.
Waller.
Well, I mean, there's not too much fleshing out to be done with her. She's stone cold,
Well, I know in the comics, I think she had like a child that died.
Oh, did she?
By the hands of like superheroes, something like that. Or, superhero catastrophe.
I see.
So that's kind of why she's taking up that mantle.
I see.
Of being that person is like, no, we need this because this is better. Policy is better.
Yeah.
So, she's kind of take up that kind of mantle. So it kind of is kind of a fleshing out.
Yeah.
And she's been doing a lot of horrible crimes to put bombs in the back of heads of villains.
Yeah. Well, remember in the original Suicide Squad movie, she was just like shot a room full of people.
Yeah.
All her employees, she shot them dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a bad person.
Yeah, she's not a good person at all. No. It's kind of shocking to see Batman work with her.
Batman never really does work with her though, too much.
Not too much.
I mean, I guess the Suicide Squad movie, like what, he got some like envelopes from her, or he gave her some intel or something. I don't.
Well, in the comics, I know like she knows the identity of him.
Yeah,
which is crazy to me.
Wait, is it crazy? Is it, James? Is Batman's identity really that hard to figure out?
Yeah, well, it's not hard to figure out, but she could easily just give it away to the world, but she doesn't.
Leverage.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, you don't just expose that right away. It's leverage.
Yeah, you got a point.
But also, I don't know. Anybody with 2 brain cells could probably put that together on it if they really thought. If Gotham wasn't so crime riddled, then they weren't worried about their safety all the damn time. That's why Batman doesn't actually try to stop the crime, right? Just keeps it going.
Keeps his secret alive, huh?
Yeah, they're distracted. They're not worried about what I'm doing.
Oh, Jacob. So, man. So, did you see the Crow images?
Yeah, I did. Let me pull it up.
My man asked what your opinion is on it. First of all, have you ever seen Crow?
James, you know the answer to that.
Yes. So you've never seen Crow?
Oh,
Jesus Christ, help me. That's the image right there.
This is so bad.
So basically, this musician gets revenge for his wife dying. She gets killed by this gang. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a John Wick type storyline. It was the first of its kind at the time. And I know I'm telling the explanation of the story badly. So screw me. Screw you. To anybody that says like, oh, that's not how the story goes at all. Well, you tell it on the podcast then. We'll allow you on. But so that's pretty much a revenge story. And it's a really, really good film. It has Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, that's in there, who tragically passed away by on set by horrible stunt accident, a gun. But yeah, man, I did not think they were doing a remake of this,
Well, they've been trying to for years.
which I think is stupid.
Like years and years and years, they've been trying to like do a remake. I think 4, 5, 6 years ago they were trying to do Jason Momoa.
Which makes sense, right? Like after watching what's his name, Bill Skarsgård, after seeing what he looks like now, yeah, they probably should have chosen Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
but
it's not Bill Skarsgård's fault. He looks like a
it's
Jared
not.
Leto.
It's not. It's not. And I'm hoping to God that he can at least make the role pop, outside of the costume, outside of the makeup and the art.
But also,
he looks horrible, Jacob.
Yeah, he does.
He looks terrible, man.
So what's the deal? His character dies in the movie, right?
Yeah, his character dies and he comes back.
Right.
Comes back to life.
So it's like a revenge ghost story kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And I heard Mark Wahlberg was originally also slated for. I said, "Oh hell no!
Oh jeez,
hell no!"
What
Can you imagine
doing?
Mark Wahlberg in this?
No.
God, man.
No.
But
it's based off a limited comic book series.
Yep, limited comic book series.
1989.
Yep. And the movie came out in 1994. The album is dope.
The album,
the best soundtrack album I've ever heard.
I believe that. Most 90s albums were pretty good because they were all like the industrial kind of music, and
it's amazing, man. It's amazing. Like the texture of it and the whole movie itself. Ernie Hudson is in the movie as well. He plays a cop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of like Commissioner Gordon. And you remember like the Batman, how the cinematography looked in there?
Yeah,
that's how it looked in The Crow.
Ah.
All depressed, sad, raining, dingy, dirty looking city. And it goes with it's such a good feeling. Like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now, man. I love The Crow. The Crow is a very, very good movie. And it sucks so bad, man, that Brandon Lee, was not alive to see his final product put to life. Because, man, he really did a good job. He made that role pop a lot more than a lot of actors should or could. They did a couple sequels to it.
The
Crow 1 and 2.
Yeah, the Wicked Prayer.
I'm sorry, 2 and 3. Awful.
Crow 1 and 2.
Awful. 2 and 3 were awful, man.
Well, yeah, because they did the straight to DVD thing with
I didn't even bother to watch them. But when you get a chance, you should definitely watch The Crow at one point in time.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll find it. Maybe it's on Tubi.
Yes, man.
It's probably on Tubi.
Yeah, you really got to watch that movie. It's a brilliant movie. It's so 90s. The soundtrack is so 90s.
Yeah.
And it's so great. And it's so nostalgic. I know they were going with Bill Skarsgård. They wanted him to have like the tattoos on his face and on his body. But I just don't think that's necessary.
It just looks bad.
That doesn't make a film pop. Because you think of a rock star, that's what a rock star looks like.
Well, the problem is everyone looks at this, they immediately think Jared Leto, Suicide Squad.
Or Post Malone.
I wouldn't say Post Malone. Post Malone's got way more tattoos on his face than
true, but that's what they said they were inspired by Post Malone. I was like, Post Malone's not a rock star.
Also, leave that man out. Don't blame Post Malone for this.
Yeah, it's like, don't put Post Malone in this.
No.
Come on, man.
This is not. No, I mean he's got that Joker eyes. Like, look at that. He's got the under. Yeah, no, this is. You watch Suicide Squad too many times. David Ayer came to you, paid you off a little bit because he's still trying to get his Suicide Squad cut out there.
God, man, it just bothers me. It really does bother me, and it just makes me mad, because I'm like, you're doing a revenge story that's already been done numerous and dozens of times.
Yeah,
we just had John Wick. We just went through a whole anthology of John Wick now. And now you're doing another one? And now you're doing another revenge movie? So what's going to make this different than any other movie that we haven't seen about revenge? Whether it be Equalizer, Taken, what else?
Beekeeper revenge movie? Yeah.
Beekeeper revenge movie. It's like, we've seen this a dozen times, so what are you going to do different now that you didn't already do? So I don't like it. I really don't like it, and it sucks. Hopefully Bill Skarsgård can bring something to the role, but a lot of people already
I think so. He's a pretty good actor.
Now
he's been in some good films.
This is what's gonna hurt Crow, and this kind of moves into like my last main topic before we get to Dune.
Yeah,
Bad Boys comes out the same weekend as Crow. Sony decided to move it up, and I was like, you know what? That is smart because they know we don't have any competition with The Crow because they know people are not gonna watch The Crow. Yeah, they know that.
Honestly, that's two unnecessary movies going up against each other, right? Because Bad Boys 4 is not really.
No, Bad Boys 4 was really good. It was unexpectedly better.
3 was good.
Yeah, 3. Yeah,
but Bad Boys 4 is not needed.
well, it wasn't needed, but it's Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, so you kind of get in the nostalgia feels, and you kind of feel it. You're like, okay, cool. And the third one, I like how they did the third one. They didn't try to make it feel like these was two still young guys. Yeah, they knew they were old guys. Yeah. Well, Will Smith's character, Mike Lowry, thought he was still young. Yeah, he proved that to be wrong. Right. But I love Bad Boys 3. It was pretty good. It was unexpectedly good. It made a lot of money too. That third one made a lot more money. Which
one do you think is the better of the series? Bad Boys 1 or 2?
Oh, obviously the first one.
You think the first one?
Yeah, the first one for me is always going to be the best because it's the movie that put Will Smith on top of the box office.
See, I think I saw the second one first.
Which is dope.
I think I have more memories of that one, yeah.
Which is an amazing film. Like that's the chase on the freeway, the car chase. Whew, yeah. One of the best car chases I've seen. Yeah. Sorry, Italian Job. Italian Job was good too. But that car chase on the freeway with those cars flying everywhere. Right. Oh man, you can't get no better. That was Jerry Bruckheimer all damn day. That's Michael Bay, Jerry Bruckheimer, all at best. It's like you can't beat that. You can't beat that. So yeah, those
were some good movies.
Yeah, they were some pretty good movies, man. And they're really entertaining to watch.
Yeah. It's kind of sad they blew the Bad Boys for Life title in the third movie though.
Yeah, I know, right? Because you could have used them for the fourth one.
I don't know if they had to foresee a fourth one because the way they left off on the third one.
True. I mean, the way it ended you really didn't need to do a fourth one, like you said.
No, but they definitely hinted
at a fourth one. But yeah, they know there's no competition for a Crow. And hell, you talking about making a Bad Boys 4? Netflix got a whole Beverly Hills Cop movie coming to Netflix.
Oh yeah, is that already out?
No, I think it come out this summer. Eddie Murphy. Like Eddie Murphy, like 1,000,000 years old. At least Will Smith still like he's in shape.
That is true. Eddie Murphy is going to be no, never mind. I mixed up my action movie franchises. I was going to say he's like Danny Glover, but that's Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it's Lethal Weapon. But
then again, I don't know. He might be doing a Danny Glover mask.
Like, I don't know why they make another Beverly Hills Cop movie. Like, you ain't learned your lesson from the third one? Who knows, the third one was even more atrocious. Like, that's more atrocious than most movies. But yeah, man, so they know there's no competition for Crow. So that's why they like, let's come out. Yeah. The same weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it comes out in June.
To be honest, I mean, that's going to be a slow week for the movies, though, because I don't see a lot of people going to either of those movies, really. I mean, Bad Boys 4...
They come for Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, given everything that's been going on with Will Smith and all the transgressions, you look at how the Hollywood landscape has been for like the past few months now, I think we can forgive Will Smith after seeing some of the stuff that's been going on out there in Hollywood.
Yeah, but also, I mean, were people really that mad at Will Smith?
No, you know how people are. People just want to be mad about something.
Exactly.
Like, oh, he should be arrested. It was an assault. Like, one person said, I was frightened at that most violence.
I'm pretty sure Will Smith has already had like a couple movies come out since that event.
Well, he had that Slave movie came out, which no one saw. It was on Apple TV. Which
Emancipation.
I said, I ain't watching that.
Who wants to watch a sad slave movie?
I'm good. I'm good. I didn't have enough of that. And please don't tempt me because I'll get on my soap all day about that one. Right. But I'll be on my soapbox all day.
But it's like, why? Who's going to go see that other than to like make yourself cry and feel bad?
Exactly. So that's the only movie he had come out. So Bad Boys 4 is really his coming out movie. That's going to be his big coming out. He's going to have to talk about it again. Even though he's already addressed this already. He's going to have to talk about it again. So, yeah, that's not going to be entertaining.
Oh, yeah. He had King Richard, but that was right before.
That was right before, yeah.
And then, yeah, Emancipation here.
Mm-hmm. So, that came out on Apple TV. So, Bad Boys 4 is coming out globally in movie theaters. But after all that's been going on in Hollywood with people with sexual misconduct.
Yeah, man, a little slap.
I think Will Smith is good. I think I forgive him.
It's whatever. Just cast Chris Rock in it and have him slap you in the movie or something.
And then boom, we're good.
Yeah, there you go. Just
Jesus almighty.
Just be like, you get one slap. And you know what? You don't even have to tell me when. You don't have to tell me what scene it is.
I could be going to the restroom. Boom, slap.
Slap me.
Just slap me. That's a good one.
Yeah. That way it's on film forever. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how you rectify that, I suppose.
But you know what? This is a good question for the chat. Well, not chat, but for the Q&A. Or anybody. Do you think that people are going to watch Bad Boys 4 or Crow?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Please go to the Q&A. Let us know. Yeah. Or email us. I don't know.
Or email us.
Yeah. Email us or comment or use the Q&A.
Do you agree with Jacob or do you agree with me?
Do I have what?
Because you say you don't think people gonna turn up for neither one. I said people gonna turn up for Bad Boys 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say the box office that weekend is going to be a low performance.
No, it's the summertime. Because it's summertime. It's going to be in June, baby.
All right.
It's hot as hell outside. You know how Houston gets.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So, yeah, that could be a question for the Q&A.
Let's do that. Yeah. On the Q&A, what movie thinks you're going to make? What movie do you think is going to make more money? And what movie is going to outperform each other? Mm-hmm. And what movie are you excited for, or if you're excited for it?
It might be neither one.
Probably so. I mean, that's how I feel.
You need to watch something. You need to watch something.
There you go. That's your review music.
That's the little music that you got for it there.
Yeah.
A little heroic music.
Yeah, it's like the red carpet.
Now, this was a movie I was hoping both of us would have watched.
Well,
but
James,
you didn't get around to it. It's just fine.
Dune 2. Tell me about it.
So, did you see the first one?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was really long, and I thought it had 7 endings.
7 endings. I thought it was okay. I thought it was better because at that time, Internals that came out right before.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think it was right before it.
Yeah.
So I thought I was gonna get another Internals movie.
I mean, it had a little bit more action than Internals.
It had a lot more action than Internals. I hated Internals.
It was just such a long film.
It was a long film. Dune was a long film. So with the first one, I really did not know what the hell it was about. All I know was about some spice and salt and pepper and all that good stuff. So with this one, there's a lot more better. There's a lot more action in it.
Right, Zendaya's in it more.
Zendaya's in it more. Oh, she's really in it more.
Because they tricked a lot of people into seeing this movie. Khadijah saw it because Zendaya was in it, and she's a fan of Zendaya, and they were like, they tricked us. And I was like, yes.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you take her to see this one, she's gonna be very, very surprised because she is in there a lot.
Yeah,
yeah, and definitely might be the main antagonist of the third film.
The main antagonist?
And I'll leave that alone. I'll leave it alone. I won't go into it. But it ends on a cliffhanger, and it ends on a hell of a cliffhanger. And you have to ask yourself.
I mean, technically, the first one kind of had a cliffhanger to it, too.
Yeah, but this one ends on a better cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Because you have to ask yourself, and for people that watched it, is the good person a good person, or is he a bad person? Is he trending towards a bad person? And the action sequences are amazing. Cinematography is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything in this movie is just awesome. Awesome stuff. Jacob, you really got to watch this film. I encourage everybody to watch this film on the biggest IMAX screen they can find. It's worth the price of admission. Definitely better than the second one. You got so many good actors and so many good characters. But the only thing about it, I will say, you don't have memorable characters. And that part sucks.
I don't know nobody's names.
They're not memorable.
I know the first movie they used a lot of big name actors, but most of them ended up getting killed off.
They ended up getting killed off.
The only one I know is Duncan Idaho, but that's just because his name is Duncan Idaho. You don't forget a name like Duncan Idaho. His name's Idaho. He's a man in space, and his last name is Idaho.
But no, it's not a lot of memorable characters, and it's not like Star Wars, where Star Wars you had Obi-Wan, you had Anakin, you had Princess Leia, Chewbacca.
That's also just because like Dune has just like a lot of lore and a lot of deep story and stuff going. I remember a little story about Dune. Like way back, Joel's a big fan of Dune. Mm-hmm. When I saw the first movie, I got to see it a little early. I got to do one of those pre-screening things, and so I took Joel with me because I knew he was a big fan. I was like, oh, he'll love this. He gets to see it before everybody else does, and blah blah blah. But way back in like high school, we were walking around the mall sometime. And we were in the bookstore, and like Dune was there. He was like telling us all about Dune, how like great of a story it was, and all this stuff. He's like, "You got to read it. And he's like, "If you don't like it, I'll take the book or whatever. I'll buy the book from you or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Bought the book. That book was like reading the Bible, James.
It pretty much is.
It was.
It pretty much is.
It almost like how Genesis or one of the books of the Bible is always like, and then his son was this person, and then his son was this person. I'm pretty sure that was like one of the pages was just like listing this family tree. I'm like, what is? Yeah. I never got into it. I was like, Joel, what did you sell me?
Yeah, you're right.
It's just so deep.
But that's the thing about it, though. That's the story and the lore is what helps the film, and that kind of makes you say, you know what? You don't need memorable characters because they're so exchangeable.
Yeah.
Because the story itself is so rich.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. Now I know there's like some couple more books after Dune, like Dune's kids. Like I'm good.
Dune's kids.
Yeah, like Dune kids. Like Paul Atreides has like kids and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't think we want to get into that.
Yeah, because it's a giant series.
Yeah, it's a giant series. I don't think they're gonna go that far. I don't think they'll go that far with that.
Well, no, this will be a trilogy.
Yeah, this will be a trilogy, and
then eventually they'll pitch a TV series or something. Yeah, that's what you do now.
Like a little prequel or something like that. Well, Paul Atreides' father is in it, something like that. Maybe they might do that. But yeah, man, Zendaya, she was great in this film. I'll tell you this: Oppenheimer is lucky that Dune didn't come out at the same time. Because if Dune would have came out at the same time, Christopher Nolan would have been shut out from the Oscars again. Because that's how good this movie is.
I mean, that kind of makes sense too. Because also, like, comparatively, right? Like, Dune is a much more interesting story compared to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, we know the story of.
Some of us do.
And for the most part, it's kind of just 3 hours of a man dealing with the fact that he's making this horrible thing, right? Mm-hmm. I still haven't seen it yet, but I know that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Dune is like your sci-fi kind of space adventure. It's more serious in, some parts or whatever, and you got a giant space worm.
And we got a big the sandworm, which they show a lot more of.
Oh, yeah? Do they? Mm-hmm. Cool. And then, you got the spice, which is basically a cure-all space drug.
Yep.
They put it on food. They put it up their nose. They do everything with this damn thing. That's the whole point of Dune, right? It's just a war for the spice, kind of like.
And
control.
Also, the second one is also Paul Atreides fighting for the throne. And no one wants, no one wants to hand over the throne to him. Right. No one thinks that he's a messiah.
Right.
But like I said, as the film goes along, there are some people, which is, I guess you could say Paul Atreides' mom, as you can kind of like go on, you're like, is she a good person or is she turned into a bad person?
I think that was hinted at in the first movie too.
Yeah,
there was some like hints with her about, I don't know, being kind of sketchy.
Both of them sketchy, man. Yeah. And I can't give any spoilers away. I really, really can't. That's why I hate that you didn't watch the film because we weren't able to like fully discuss it.
Yeah, because
I know me and Richard discussed it, friends of the show, and it's kind of got some stuff in there like it makes you think and like, okay, where are we headed now with this Paul Atreides guy? Because he does something dastardly. He makes decisions that he feels that he has to make, and Zendaya's character is not for it. And she doesn't like how everybody is just bowing down to him for this being a messiah type deal. And he makes a decision in the movie that changes the whole course of what that third one is going to look like.
I see.
So I definitely can't wait to see that third one. We'll have to wait like 4 or 5 years for it. But I can't wait to see it.
I don't know, dude, 4 or 5 years? It's only been 3 since the first one.
Yeah, I know, man, but it just seems so long. Like, getting to it, like, I don't know. Like, you remember those Harry Potter movies? I don't remember Harry Potter ever taking that long to come out with each film.
That's true.
Did it?
I don't know, probably like 2 years.
Or was it because we were just little kids that we had other things going on in our lives?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably more reasonable. But I don't know, they probably, I think 2 years a piece for those movies. But
I think 2 years.
Dude, when you think about it, though, we did have the whole writer and actor strike and all that stuff happening. So dates got pushed back, even for movie. I mean, whatever production they were probably in, they probably got halted for a little bit.
True.
If they were in production at the time, which they would have either just have gotten done.
Just as long as they don't make us wait like Avatar. I'm sorry, but as long as they don't make us wait like Avatar. Like James Cameron.
I mean, Avatar shouldn't have gotten a sequel. I understand he had like 5 scripts written and ready to go, but that first one is all you need. You didn't need to do Way of Water. You don't need to do the next one. You don't need to do the one after that. You don't need to spend that much time with these blue people.
You got a point. But yeah, Dune is definitely worth the watch, man. It made so much money. It cleaned up, and this movie's been cleaning up all weekend long. Nice. IMAX has been packed.
Good for Dune.
Good for Dune. Good for the movie theaters because we've had nothing. The movie theaters have had nothing for like the past few months now.
Yeah.
Ever since the new year started.
Well, I mean, March is going to pick up, right? Because I think in a couple of weeks we have the Godzilla movie coming out.
Got Godzilla, got Ghostbusters.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, and Ghostbusters. I'm surprised Godzilla came out so soon. I was thinking like May. But no, it's coming out like end of this month or so.
Well, you know why? Because you got, Planet of the Apes comes out in May.
Oh.
So you don't want
to do monkey over monkey. Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess they're thinking about that. I don't know how I feel about that movie, but
The funny thing is, speaking of Godzilla, I saw they released like the IMAX poster or something.
Yeah, I seen it.
And on the comment, someone was like, "Oh, how much more ridiculous can this franchise get?" And it's just like,
true.
Yeah, but the way they said it was just, it's a movie about a giant lizard who can blast stuff. He fights monsters. It's all ridiculous.
It sounds ridiculous, but when you watch Godzilla -1, it doesn't make it ridiculous.
I mean, you're right, but
I
it's still
think
a big monster movie.
I think that movie is what propels that. And when you watch Godzilla versus Kong, you just like, here we go, another CGI fest again. How much money you guys throw into this crap?
That is true.
Because the CGI looks horrible.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't like the CGI for this movie.
Yeah.
I've been debating on it. I've been seeing the trailers on it. I was like, I don't like the way the CGI.
Yeah, I haven't looked at any of the trailers besides the first one. I usually stop after the first one.
Yeah,
I don't like watching too many trailers after that.
I don't really feel like that you really need. I don't really feel like you should watch the trailers or not. Because I mean, what's the spoil?
Yeah.
There's a lizard and a monkey versus another monkey.
Yeah,
you know they're gonna win the battle.
Yeah, or they might lose.
Oh,
it could be an Infinity War situation. Godzilla could get stabbed in the heart, and then there's a baby Godzilla in the next.
Oh, Godzuki.
Yeah, Godzuki or Manila. There's Godzuki, Manila.
So you're all ready for this? You hyped for this Godzilla vs Kong?
It's a big dumb monster movie, man. Come on. What am I supposed to do? What
wait for Ghostbusters.
What am I gonna do? Sit on a pedestal and be like, "No, Godzilla."
I'm waiting for Ghostbusters.
I mean, Ghostbusters is gonna be fun too.
I'm waiting for that. I really am. Which I'm worried about that one too. Cause I was like, you guys are feeding into that nostalgia thing, aren't you? Again, selling plushie toys. I said selling. I was like, man, now they got characters off like the little mini marshmallows.
Yeah,
they actually have characters now. They actually got names.
Really?
I was like, oh,
yeah,
God,
that's a bit too far. That's a bit far.
But yeah, that's my review for Dune. Definitely can't wait to see. I know we ventured off into some more movies, but yeah, March is gonna be full chock with some movies. We got a lot of good movies coming out this summer.
Yeah,
you just gotta be careful which one. You not be careful, but you gotta be aware of the ones that go under the radar.
Yeah,
because they don't really tell you about them.
We're supposed to be getting another, X Pearl.
Which I do want to see.
There's Maxine coming out.
Yep, Maxine.
Yeah, and I finally got to watch X, I think, like the other day. Mm-hmm. That was pretty good. I still need to watch Pearl.
Yeah, Pearl's hard to find.
Is it?
It's hard to find online.
Oh, yeah. I found X was on like Tubi or something. Or Netflix. No, they put it on Netflix. Pearl might be on Netflix too. I have to look. But.
See what happens when we don't have DVDs and Blu-ray anymore?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's DVDs out there. I'm
sorry. See, y'all won't go off on that.
They're not gone, James. They're still out there.
Well, Best Buy is gone. It's gone. It's completely gone now.
Yeah, but Best Buy is not the only place that sells DVDs.
Yeah, but the only place that you really like to go to get DVDs. No one goes to Walmart and it's like, you know what? Let me go get DVD from Walmart. Like, no one's doing that. Like, no one's doing that. Yeah. So that part sucks. But yeah, that's my review for Dune.
Well, we got an email.
Outro?
No, we got an email from a listener.
Oh, you got an email. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we got from Zach. He emailed us, and the email goes, I know I'm sending this question kind of late because he sent it at 1 a.m. Last Friday.
Jesus Christ.
And it says, with just seeing Dune 2, what can Star Wars do to catch up to the audience liking it? Because it seems like a lot of people like Andor and Rogue One. Do you think Star Wars should get a little more grown up, like how the Harry Potter franchise grew up with the audience?
Ooh.
Yes.
I know. Make your stories better. Ooh. Stop living in the past. Ooh, this is another question. Just one more. Stop trying to market everything and try to sell toys all the time. And actually tell a story. Ooh.
I mean, the toys and Star Wars go together like bread and butter, James. Like that's always been a thing.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, stopping everything just to put a Chewbacca, a little Yoda toy out there. It's like, you don't need that. Yeah. Like, I understand Star Wars and toys go together. I'm aware of that. I'm around people every day that collect that crap. But all I'm saying is, like, can you tell a better story? Stop living in the past?
I mean, first and foremost, just get away from the Skywalker family.
That too. Can you get away from Skywalkers?
Look, unpopular opinion. I think the Skywalkers are about the dumbest, most gullible family in the galaxy.
Oh, me too.
You watch those movies, and every generation of those damn Skywalkers get manipulated by the dark side one way or another. I mean, you got Anakin, became Darth Vader. You got Luke, who, while he didn't become a Sith, was very, very, very close to it. And then, you know, he just went along with Obi-Wan out of nowhere. He's like, oh yeah, sure, space hobo, I'll follow you. And then you have Kylo Ren, who, again, kind of went like the Vader route. Again, being manipulated by like 2 or 3 entities, I suppose. I don't even remember, but like, they're dumb. There's stupid people in the galaxy. We should stop following them. There's bigger stories in Star Wars. Mandalorian was a great example, I think. I mean, yeah, you had the little baby Yoda thing, and yeah, it was kind of just to sell toys, but I like the Mandalorian because it was just like, it was an adventure of the week. Every week, there was an overarching plot, obviously, but every week was just like, he's gotta do something else. He's gotta save the town. He's gotta go do this. He's a bounty hunter. He's taking jobs. And I did enjoy that. And I think outside of like the Jedi mythos, there's a lot of cool stuff in the Star Wars universe that you can explore. And there's plenty of source material you can use. There's all the book series that they said weren't canon, but they're still, you know, stealing ideas from. Just take one of those books, adapt it into a movie. They're like, there's plenty. I think there's like a Dead Space kind of stormtrooper type story. Like it's a bunch of stormtroopers on a Star Destroyer somewhere, and they're getting hunted down by like a monster or something like that. So I think you just do more interesting stories than Jedis and Skywalkers, and stop trying to do the Jedi Legacy. I mean, like the whole Skywalker Legacy, the whole last Star Wars film that we got, like
It was
Episode 9,
it was a fan film.
It was all a fan film. Like they literally wrote, they let the fan theories write that movie. It was the laziest script, just because all the fan theories over the years that started coming out ever since Episode 7, they just shoved into a movie.
They just shoved it in.
And that was the big problem. And the big problem with that trilogy is they didn't plan any of that out.
They didn't plan, no.
J.J. Abrams admitted, we didn't plan out the 3 movies.
Well,
he did his movie.
Exactly.
And then they let Rian Johnson do another one, and they had to build off of that. Like they should have had an outline. Kind of like the original MCU up until Endgame. Like they had an outline of where the story was going to go, what kind of beats they were going to use, what characters they were going to use for what. I mean, sure, things changed over time, but they still had, I would assume, an outline, if not mostly, you know, full ideas.
I mean, well,
they should have did that with Star Wars.
Well, the original script, they had an original script for it, for the last one, the last Star Wars movie they did.
Yeah.
They had to throw it away because it was that bad.
Yeah.
So, and they were working on a timeline.
Yeah.
Once again, working on timelines because you're trying to put everything out 2 years behind. That's another thing. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop putting out. We've been far removed from Star Wars, so I think it's time for another Star Wars film.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. I digress on that point. The script was so bad for that one, so they had to hurry up and put something together. So that's when the whole fan film, I was like, well, let's just put everything all in one, shove it in this backpack, and let's call it a day. Now, my man Finn had a storyline that people were actually interested in.
There was something going on with him, and they just dropped that entirely.
They dropped it.
It's gone. It's gone.
They dropped it. Like, if you watch the third Star Wars film and watch the first one and second one, you like, somewhere in between, this is not the same film.
Yeah.
This is not the same story.
Yeah.
And it was bad. It was bad. And I get into it. A lot of people, like, Parker's finally come around on this. Cause I know he's a big Star Wars fan, old guy. And a lot of old school people are Star Wars fans, especially them. They're really annoying. And they understand now. It's like, hey, man, these movies are not good.
Yeah.
And I think the fan base understands that now. And I think the studios understand it. Disney understands that. And stop always announcing stuff. Like, stop.
This is a major problem. Well, this goes back to what I said about like we're so spoiled and spoon fed all this information. Like it's okay to keep things a little bit more secret.
Stop saying it. Like
it's okay to keep things a little bit more secret, and it's okay to just drop a trailer and just be like, hey, this is coming out in 2 months. By the way, we've been working on this for 2 years, or whatever. Or I don't know. It's just
every day they always tell us we got a new Star Wars film coming out.
You're right.
And then they say after another week, so it's canceled.
Well, remember what DC always used to do? Like they used to like announce like 10 movies, and then 8 of those were not happening. MCU's getting like that now, where it's like, oh yeah, all these movies we had planned, bro, we're slowly taking those off the table. Oh, look at Captain America. Captain America's doing reshoots again. They're like changing up their whole thing.
It's like, stop doing
this. Stop giving everybody too much information. Just make the thing, let it come out.
And you know when this really started, right? when Disney started doing that Star Wars investors thing.
Yeah.
They have a little Star Wars day, and they have like this big premiere, and they have all of these different things that come
because
out.
it worked so well for the Marvel stuff, right? That was a big thing they did at E3. They were like, "Here's our new slate.
Yeah.
Here's Phase 3. Here's Phase 2. Like, oh, we're gonna do the same thing for Star Wars." And Star Wars fans, they were not prepared for, because Star Wars fans are rabid. Nobody hates Star Wars as much as Star Wars fans do. Yes, and there's a couple other fan bases that are becoming like that, but Star Wars fans are the original. Like, they hate their own fan. They hate their own product that they also enjoy. So they were not ready for the fans. They were not ready for the backlash at all. So you're right. They do need to do better stories. I think just get away from the Skywalkers entirely. Get away from Jedis. Honest. Just do some, I don't know, cool space movies. Yeah.
Like you said, Stormtroopers.
Yeah.
You had that with Finn.
Do the Stormtroopers. Yeah. Do another story similar to like what Finn's story was.
Like, you literally had a good story going on with Finn, and then they just cut it out.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Not everybody needs to be connected to the original trilogy group. Not every character needs to be like some long lost relative of Luke or Leia or Han or any of them. Or Palpatine. Somehow he's back.
Like, we saw him die. We saw this man literally die. And you telling me that he's back?
Somehow he's back, James.
We saw him die.
But with all that being said, at the end of the day, I can really take or leave Star Wars. I'm not a giant fan of Star Wars.
I'm not the biggest fan I was at first anymore.
And honestly, if they literally announced like, hey, you know what, we're gonna stop making Star Wars, I would not. I would not feel one way or another. I'd be like, okay, cool.
Rogue One was amazing. Rogue One was freaking amazing. I love that movie.
See, I just need to rewatch it, because I think I was just overhyped for it, and by the time I got to it, I was like, oh, this is what it was.
I think that's the best Star Wars film they put out.
Yeah. So I need to rewatch it. Also, it's just like when you know the ending, it's kind of...
Well, yeah. But that's what makes it even better, though, because Darth Vader was actually Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He was actually chopping up people.
Yeah, I've seen that scene. That's a good
love
scene.
that. That was amazing.
And I was thinking about this too, James. I've been wanting to say this before, but like, all franchises are only as good as their last product.
Oh, yeah, we know that. Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the audience is so fickle. It's like politics. The audience is so fickle and judgmental, and they can easily go one way or another. Every franchise is as good as its last product. If Star Wars came out and did another banger movie, everybody would be like, Star Wars is back.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Same thing with Marvel. If Marvel put out a really good MCU movie next, they'd be like, Marvel's back. But as soon as the next one sucks, they're going to go the whole other way. Like, it's very just subjective.
So let me ask you this then. Which fan base, no, how do I get this question? Out of Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and I'm going and throw in, I don't want to throw in Sony. I'm just discussing with them right now. I'll just leave the three fan bases.
I mean, the Spider-Man fan base is getting pretty bad.
It is getting pretty bad.
Like, just Spider-Man alone. Not Sony, but like the character of Spider-Man. That fan base is getting bad.
Out of those three genres, DC, Marvel, and Star Wars, which one do you think has the potential to bounce back?
I mean, all three of them. Like I said, like every franchise is as good as their last product. They all have the potential to bounce back. MCU has to do a lot of work to get there.
I see MCU,
but they can do it.
Yeah, MCU will probably get it before anybody else because they built up enough cachet.
Yeah, but they also have like a lot of retconning to do and a lot of fixing things. DC is on the verge of it because they wiped out their whole slate and they're starting new with James Gunn. And Star Wars is kind of on the same level of Marvel, right? They have a lot of work to do. I know that cat's getting loud, right? But
yeah,
they got a lot of work to do to get back. But all three of them have the potential to bounce back.
But I'm talking about which one has the most potential to bounce back first. And Marvel has the most potential because they got somebody in place that's a surefire person with Kevin Feige.
Well, Kevin Feige and Bob Iger. Bob Iger,
yeah, that too.
I mean, it depends though, because you got to get through Captain America 4 coming out next year. You gotta get through Thunderbolts. You have Deadpool coming out this year, but again, that's this year. The next year, the next two movies coming out, they're not looking so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends. I mean, it could be Marvel, it could be DC. I mean, Superman.
I see Star Wars is so behind. The Star Wars, I think Star Wars is behind the curve in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think I take Marvel, then DC, then Star Wars.
Well, it's also the fact like Star Wars has also had a lot of content come out on Disney Plus like Marvel has, but they're not doing so good.
Well, the last Mandalorian season, no one even talked about.
Yeah.
No one even talked about it.
I still haven't seen it. I saw the first two, and I liked the first one, and the second one I liked pretty okay, but then they threw in Luke, I was excited to see Ahsoka, and then the episode she was in was pretty cool, but then she turned out to be like really boring as a character. I haven't seen the Ahsoka show, and when they introduced her in Mandalorian, after they did that, I was like, you know what? The Jedi are just boring characters.
You'll get a lot of hate on that one.
They're boring. They have no personality.
This is amazing. No one listens to the podcast.
They have no personality. They're supposed to be so strict. Like the Jedi teachings is so strict. Like no wonder people join the dark side. Like, you can you're at least allowed to have emotions.
That was Jacob that said all.
I don't care. Come at me.
No one listens to the podcast.
You think I care about what internet people think of me?
It's just amazing. Like no one listens to us, but when we start projecting hate, we get likes left and right, and hate left and right.
None of it matters. It doesn't exist. it's all silly entertainment. We're just supposed to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Jedis are trash. I will admit that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm obviously just playing, Jacob. I could care less about basement goer of peas in his pants. That's a big Star Wars fan hating on me because I dislike their genre.
Yeah,
it's just Star Wars got a lot of work to do.
I mean, like I said,
to catch up to Dune too.
Dune is so niche, though. It's very
niche, but from the money it's done this weekend, it's not becoming very niche.
Yeah,
I will say. I think a lot of people would prefer Dune over the Star Wars. That's for doggone sure.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, that's for doggone sure.
But you know what? Let Dune 3 slip up and let the next Star Wars film do better.
Whenever we get it, we get Mandalorian movie, Skeleton Crew.
Mandalorian was pretty cool though. His whole character was neat, and then
these were the movies they told us we were supposed to be getting: Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew with Jude Law, because Jude Law supposed to be in that.
Interesting.
None of his came to fruition.
Of course not.
Daisy Ridley was supposed to come back to be another Star Wars movie. She's supposed to be a Jedi, training other Jedis.
You know something about Daisy Ridley that I do like and respect from her.
Love her.
Well, because she was on a talk show recently or something, like a few weeks ago. And they asked her one of those baiting questions where it's like, hey, what do you think about the toxic people of the Star Wars fan base and how they think of you? You know, like one of those. And her response was so cool because she was just like, look, I go to these Star Wars events and I get nothing but love from the people there. And that's the only people I care about. Right? She didn't diss anybody. She didn't trash anybody. She wasn't like, they're wrong for hating Ray or whatever. She was just like, look, I go to the Star Wars events and I don't get hate. I only see love. So that's my experience. And I think that's cool. It was on the same page or same level as the girl who played Kamala Khan when they were asking her about the Marvels and how bad it did or whatever. And she was like, well, I made a movie and I had fun. You know, that like, it's just a nice response. It's nice to see those responses where it's like, I don't know. I don't care.
It's an honest response.
Yeah.
Unless the movie, like even Sydney Sweeney, she made a joke on SNL about Madam Web.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, right?
You kind of have to at this point. Yeah, you have to have a little fun with it. Because, actors know.
Right.
Actors know when their movie is trash. Actors know. And I appreciate a lot more actors being a lot more, transparent.
Yeah.
You know, because if we know, they know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to have some humility.
You have to.
You know?
You have to.
But that's all we got, huh?
Yeah, that's all, man.
All right, cool. That's all we got today, guys. It's a cool Friday episode. You got a Dune review. We got some Crow talk. We got some
Star Wars talk.
Star Wars talk.
I've never talked about Star Wars with you before.
I mean,
not on the podcast.
I can take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right, you okay? Dang, all right.
Oh, but yay! So if you wanna email us, you can email us at onthegopod2023.com. You can find us on Instagram, on the go Jacob and James, all one word. You can find me on Instagram at jacobtantone.audio. You can find James on Instagram at
9794.
You can find us on YouTube, on the go with Jacob and James, same as our Instagram, and you can listen to us on YouTube. We don't have video, we just have audio, so take a listen to us if you prefer that medium. You can also email, I already said you can email us, but we have a Q&A section sometimes. Just go check out that Q&A section. We'll ask a question, give us an answer, let us know what you think. But without further ado, I am on the go. James is on the go. We're all on the go.
All right, take it easy.
I hope you have enjoyed this Friday's episode. I certainly have. However, I suggest that Jacob and James cover more technological films and other media. I quite enjoy the Terminator franchise myself. Anyway, have a great weekend, listeners. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share.